Thank you for joining us for the virtual open house where we're talking about stability areas in the comprehensive plan. This is the comprehensive plan area that encompasses the sort of everything else in San Marcos. It's not an employment center, but it can also incorporate some of our more environmentally sensitive lands. It can have major transportation corridors running through it, and it's predominantly undeveloped right now. We've talked with folks about these stability areas or the rest of the city. Some of the problems that we've identified are that stability areas are really very diverse. They're usually large tracts of land, and there's not a lot of direction as to land uses that are appropriate in these areas. They can be anything from very environmentally sensitive lands over the Edwards Aquifer Recharge Zone to our agricultural lands on the east, where there are some major corridors running through. And so the comprehensive plan really did identify stability areas as places that generally maintain their existing character. Stability areas are predominantly undeveloped in their current state. So some of the Code SMTX strategies for directing types of land uses that are appropriate in stability areas include providing some direction and context for zoning decisions along major transportation corridors, predominantly on the eastern side of the city, as well as some of those corridors along the west. And also creating a new conservation development district for environmentally sensitive areas that are identified on our land use suitability map. When we're talking about corridors in the comprehensive plan, we're talking about the transportation master plan is going on at the same time. The transportation master plan will be identifying where we need those major transportation corridors or loops around the city in order to ease some of the transportation concerns. And along with that, what the comprehensive plan will be doing is it will be identifying appropriate land uses along those corridors. So appropriate land uses along FM 110 along the east side are different than those that would go on the west side of town over our environmentally sensitive lands, as well as those that go through high intensity corridors. So all of those areas we will be identifying appropriate land uses. In addition, we're also talking about different types of corridors like greenway corridors, where those are appropriate, how they're appropriate, and how they continue to flow through the city in different ways. So that's an important part of the Code SMTX strategy in stability areas. In addition, the other important strategy in stability areas has to do with the land use suitability map that was created as part of the comprehensive plan. The land use suitability map identifies those areas that are most constrained by environmental criteria. And in those areas, Code SMTX is proposing and recommending creating a new zoning district called a Conservation Development District that would identify 50% at least of those lands be preserved in perpetuity for any type of development proposals over environmentally sensitive land or those lands that are constrained up to a level 5 on the criteria. Thank you for joining us for the virtual open house on stability areas. Please don't forget to answer the questions on your survey pertain to the Code SMTX strategies of zoning decisions along major corridors and these new zoning options for environmentally sensitive areas.